Like I'm hanging there. Welcome, folks, to another grab bag.
I'm getting excited already.
We're always getting excited.
Is this
Might wanna calm down a little.
152?
No, we're a little lower than that. A
Oh,
little
no,
lower
okay.
than that.
All right.
So these are ones from Dizzy's collection, but they're the ones he's not exposed to right now.
No.
so-
Well, I didn't prearrange them or anything. They're
Yeah.
just grabbed from boxes that are here.
Right. So here we go. The first one, Call of the Wild.
Without Keely Smith.
Out Keely Smith.
You know, I love this. This is
Louis Prima.
Las Vegas Lounge Band, you know? And Sam Buttra is on trumpet, right?
I think sax.
Oh, sax. Okay, sax. And it's a wild band. It's
It's the Wildest.
Call of the Wildest. And, you know, that I think he had other album titles that had wild in the cover.
yeah.
Yeah. And this is you know, all out, no holds barred, bluesy type jazz, and it's very exciting. And people that love this search for these records, and because most of them are out of print.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love them, and I don't think I'll ever give up any of my Louis Prima and Keely Smith records. I just think that the guy had a knack with his voice of getting really high and wild with it. You know?
Oh no. No.
Oh.
He was cut from a single piece of cloth.
Yeah.
And he's unique in his own right. And yeah, I'm right there with Dizzy.
Sam Buttra and the Witnesses. Ha!
Witnesses. Ah, wow! I pulled that one out. Nice. But yeah, I when I see these records, I grab them. And you know, I'll just give you a little insight here. When I first started doing this, I was like, well, do I really want to do this? I don't really want other people to be competing for the same records I'm looking for. But I started going, you know, I got 10,000 records. How many more do I really need? No, I don't. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and share this knowledge as far as what you should look for and what's fun.
Well,
at least in our opinion. I'll
yeah,
just take it in our opinion because you know everyone has their own.
You know,
thing.
his song. All right, now he's one of the first ones to recover. I'm Just a Gigolo.
Yeah.
And then you see, I think Van Halen
Yeah.
did that later.
If it wasn't David Lee Roth on his own, I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
one of the two. And
Yeah.
my goodness, you know, if you heard
Heard his version.
Louis
Oh,
Prima do it, you'd go,
Oh, that was
I
it.
want that.
That's
That's
the one.
it.
That was the one. Not that David Lee Roth did a bad version of it. I still enjoy that as well. But it was already done great. So how about ELO, Electrolyte Orchestra? This is one of their first ones. I don't know if
When it sounded really like an orchestra, and you know, they what was it, Beethoven's
Roll Over Beethoven.
Yeah, but
But in this one, it has In the Hall of the Mountain King, which is also an old classical piece. Showdown's on this one as well.
ooh, I love Showdown.
And Mama Bell. So all that stuff, it doesn't even matter. We're talking about some of the hits, but the fact is the whole record is enjoyable. All of these, El Dorado's another one. I just put the needle down, and the whole thing is cohesive and has a feeling that's you don't hear on many other records.
You know what comes to me, Champ? With all the remastering that's been done, with all the colored vinyl and 180 gram vinyl and everything, all of Electric Light Orchestra's albums are worthy of just such remastering and care. Why we're waiting so long to hear that great music?
Who knows, right? Who knows?
Wow.
There's always the other
They're
side of
missing
it, right?
something here.
Yeah, well, maybe they've been doing it and we just don't know. But Terry Reid, I pulled this one out because I think you've talked about him, and I don't know much about him.
Well,
so
Terry
this is mostly
Reid,
from my education.
Terry Reid, this is the album did you want with Terry Reid? I believe he's still alive. I'm going to go on a hunch on that. He had just one or two albums. Tell me the one track here.
Highway 61
No,
Revisited.
no.
No. Super Lungs.
No.
Mr. Supergirl. My Supergirl. Silver White Light.
No,
July. Marking
No.
Time. Stay with Me, Baby.
no.
Boy, I'm reading everything but the one. May
Yeah.
Fly.
Mayfly.
May Fly.
If you can hear, and you can just put it in your browser, Terry Reid, Mayfly. It starts off real slow, and you go, I'm not sure where he's going about this, and then he builds that song one layer at a time until you like go, this guy can rock.
Well, I can have to borrow this or
Whoa,
something at
I'm
some
telling
point
you.
and check it out.
This
'cause
guy.
that sounds great.
And very good guitarist. I can't give this anything more than 5-star Dizzy, highest honors. Okay.
Wow.
For November 30th, this is the record of the day.
Well, and when you have next up John Lee Hooker.
In my mind, this is John Lee Hooker's best album.
This is the record of the day.
Yeah. John Lee Hooker Jr. is on this record too.
Oh.
And it's John Lee Hooker could get into a riff and just stay there. Where on this record, he's like broken out of that. And he's like going, hey, let's really cook. Let's really knock the walls out. And this is a record to get.
Huh.
This is a hot, hot band. I liken
No
it to
dancing.
when he was with Canned Heat.
Didn't he also do something with Steve Miller? I heard Steve Miller's on some of his records.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but on this particular band,
Yeah, he's got Charlie Musselwhite on this one.
yeah, oh,
That's not too shabby.
Yeah. So anyway, if you can get this is a hard to find record, but if you can find it, this is an excellent record. Excellent.
I don't think I own this one. I have a lot of John Lee though, but don't think I have that one. Oh well, sadness.
Do you know how though that he on some songs he could stay with one
No,
lyric
no,
and
no,
one riff
just-
and
yeah.
just stay there?
Yeah.
Where this is really kind of gets into true blues that I like. It reminds me more of the Butterfield Blues Band. It reminds me of Muddy Waters type blues bands that could really explode.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
burn that groove right into you, right into your brain,
Yeah.
where you just
This is a hot
give me
dog
more,
band.
give me more. So next up we have a little known artist named Johnny Cash, the rough cut king of country music.
Well, some of his best songs are about railroad trains and riding
I agree.
trains.
I
And,
agree, 100%.
You
Most
know,
of
the
ones I
experience
have
of
are with him in a train.
yeah. And so there's good reason for this record. And when I get the reissues and compilations and things of the best of Johnny Cash, it usually is some of these records about the railroad trains and things, where he's in such and such a city and he's on his way to such and such a city, and on he goes. And he really could capture the experience of railroads. And I believe he loved them. There's a lot of things that Johnny Cash loved. He loved America. He loved the flag. He loved, talking about the plight of the underprivileged Indians. There's a lot of causes that he fought for, and he was very proud of it.
Of course, on this record, I don't see anything about a train other than the cover. But
Well, does this have to do about
that's
the
Cold
steakhouse?
Heart, a cold good night.
Oh, this is
Irene.
on Sun. Yeah, I see
Yeah,
that.
straight A's in love. You're my baby, my treasure. I forgot to remember to forget. I like that title. I forgot to remember to forget. But yeah, they got him right in front of a large train.
And then
But,
isn't it the truth in advertising? Let's make out like this is all about trains, and then there'll be nothing about trains on it.
Yeah, you got to read sometimes a little more of what's on there. But it's probably a very good record on top of that. Who knows?
Oh, those early Sun things with Johnny Cash are good.
Good. Okay. Okay, how about this little known artist?
Well, you know, I've said many times before that I was fortunate that in the very start of Janis Joplin's career, I was a neighbor to a band member, Peter Albom. We went to the same high school. He was 1 year in front of me. I was his paper boy. I was very proud to see that he became successful in Big Brother and the Holding Company. So I had the additional motivation to go and see the band because he was in it.
Right, right.
And so these things, what was surprising to me is that I would not bump into, but I could be sitting on the floor of an auditorium, and that Janis Joplin, surprisingly, would be sitting with almost an arm length of me, and I could overhear her conversations and all. And I saw what a wonderful sense of humor she had. Shouldn't listen into other people's conversations, should you, Jim? But I thought, what the heck? So I did it. And also she dressed just like she was out of the thrift store, you know, and she, very sexy appearance, but she had terrible acne, and she looked like she didn't do anything with her hair, and it was quite long and unmanageable.
And that's why she put boas in there every so
Yeah.
often.
Now as a band, of course, she was Big Brother. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, she was it. I mean, and
yeah.
they
And-
at some point
and
discovered
she had
that and
a
talked
one-
her out of the band.
She
and said,
she
hey,
had,
we got to put you with a full tilt boogie band and give you a real band.
and
behind
no
you.
one since can do her material because it's so out of reach of most people's capabilities. And that's pretty typical. She's showing a little bit of her breast there, but she's not trying to overdress or anything. It looks like she's at this time really gone into jewelry, but she's a pretty simple woman, pretty simple, and that smile is very, very nice. And she was that type of person. She had a, you know, Janis, if you're up there in heaven listening to me now, God love you. You left such a legacy of music, didn't she?
Oh yeah.
Oh, but you know that mainstream first album?
Uh huh.
That was really my favorite. Didn't you know on the one that has Robert Crumb
Yeah,
that
yeah.
did the cover and everything else?
Chain.
The
ball and
recording
chain.
engineer that did that album said he didn't want his name on the album because he thought it was so poorly recorded. And it was recorded, and he thought it should have been rehearsed more, and he could have done a better job and everything. And he said, if you're going to release this, don't put my name on it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of perfectionists out there, and if they don't see it just the way they want it, they're not 100% happy.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, I
really
think
hard.
there's some overdubbing on that where they dropped in audience noise.
Oh.
It was made out to be a live performance, and it actually
What?
was not, and
Uh-huh.
they dropped in audience noise. Record industry, that's a no-no.
Play the games. What was that one? The Legs. This is an earlier hit where I want to say Monkey Legs. That's not sound
No,
right.
the song for
That's
me
one.
was that stopped traffic for me with Big Brother and Holding Company on the first album.
This was in a Big Brother and Holding
Oh.
Company, but this was a black artist, and it was in the early '60s, and they dropped in audience sound. Audience sound and clapping, and they're really to hear the record without that audience noise and clapping, it would have been a much weaker.
Well, I
recording.
wouldn't be surprised if some of those early Johnny Rivers records, because they were going, every record had to have a live audience to it, and I wondered if they all were recorded with a live
I believe
audience.
those were. I mean, when you
Okay.
say the Whiskey a Go-Go on them.
Yeah.
But,
Well, that was done probably more commonly than you think.
yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
Especially when it worked on that record.
Yeah.
It's like once it works, then
Yeah.
the other times they bring in a recording artist,
Oh,
they're
sure.
like going, well, we
Sure.
might be able to do something here.
You know, I recently heard a record that was like that, and it was inadvertent. I have Spotify, and you could put in a certain artist, like, I don't know, you could say even, Michael Bublé. And on comes Barry Manilow singing with Andy Williams, Moon River. Well, I know that Andy Williams never did a duet with Barry Manilow of Moon River.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's
I
just
know-
like we know that Nat King Cole
Didn't
was
do one with
dead
his daughter. Yeah,
went
I know.
with his daughter.
Yeah,
Natalie
they
Cole.
could have done
So
something.
this became kind of a popular thing to dub other people into records
Right.
that they never recorded together. Little known fact. I'm just trying to enlighten the world.
I'll look that up.
I'm
Yeah.
sure the record industry is like going, "Oh, big secret, let out."
Wow. All right.
Hey, keep those cards and letters coming. You know.
All right. Champ out.